The story of American history begins with prehistory, before humans had developed a system of writing to record their actions and transactions. It begins with fragments, bits of broken pottery, pieces of stone tools, splinters of bone. From such fragments, archaeologists have pieced together an answer to the question, who were the first Americans? Or rather, several answers. As scientists discover new evidence, they revise the picture of the distant American past. In the 1970s, archaeologists working with crews building an oil pipeline across Alaska believed they found remains of the first Americans. Ancient skulls recently unearthed on the west coast of Mexico may be from Southeast Asians who reached North America by sailing across the Pacific Ocean. Molecular biologists, using techniques of DNA analysis, have found genetic links between modern Native Americans and European populations thousands of years older than Columbus. Where the first Americans came from, as well as when and how they came, are still unresolved questions. Whoever arrived first, one important historical truth remains. The New World reported by European explorers some 500 years ago was anything but new. It had been for thousands of years home to millions of inhabitants. While new evidence prompts archaeologists, biologists, and geneticists to debate the origins of the first Americans, most still agree on the broad outlines of a picture of this far-off time. It looks something like this. More than 12,000 years ago, nomadic hunters braved the bitterly cold temperatures of the last ice age. At that time, several huge North American glaciers covered the continent as far south as modern-day Chicago and New York. Beneath these glaciers, river systems were frozen. This caused sea levels around the world to drop by more than 300 feet, 100 mapas, exposing miles of additional shoreline. Siberia, in Northeast Asia, and Alaska, 50 miles, 80 kilometers apart by boat today, were then one continuous landmass that modern geologists have named Beringia, Buringia. This temporary land bridge between the continents of Asia and North America was a 1,000-mile, 1,600 kilometers swath of tundra with patchy vegetation fed by glacial runoff. Over many generations, small bands of hunters and gatherers moved east, migrating seasonally to find food and eventually advancing into the area that is now North America. Archaeologists call these earliest people in the Americas Paleo-Americans. The first part of that label, paleo, comes from a Greek term meaning old or ancient. In the Arctic regions, the tundra is a vast treeless plain with low-lying summer vegetation. The prehistoric Paleo-American peoples pursued the giant animals of the era, including the mastodon, woolly mammoth, and saber-toothed cat, as well as the ancestors of modern caribou and bison. One kill could feed an entire nomadic community for weeks. The animal's fur provided warm clothing. The hunters carved the ivory and bone into tools. They lashed driftwood and tusks together as ridge poles for tents made from hide. Women and children remained in camp and foraged nearby for wild plants, birds, eggs, berries, and roots. Over time, steady migrations of hunters, along with a slowly warming climate, led to the extinction of large, hairy mammals and the depletion of food supplies. To survive, the nomadic bands were forced to develop more efficient hunting techniques. For example, some used a lever called an atlatl to throw a spear farther and harder. But such innovations could not fend off the threat of starvation, so entire communities picked up and moved to unknown valleys and plains. These nomadic people migrated across North America. They moved south and east into more hospitable latitudes. As the glaciers receded northward and then melted away, the channels they scoured became river bottoms and lake beds. In the rich topsoil left behind, tall grasslands and dense forests thrived. Elk, deer, and bison, as well as countless small animal species, flourished in these environments. So did the hunters who followed them. Within 1,000 years, perhaps even less, according to some modern scientists, these nomadic hunters spread across the continents of North and South America. They had unknowingly become, in their meandering quest for more food and better conditions, the first Americans. Nomadic bands eventually settled in every geographic region of the Americas, which stretches more than 10,000 miles, 16,000 kilometers north to south, forming one continuous landmass from the Arctic to the Antarctic. Some tribes became skilled at stalking deer in forests. Others learned how to slaughter the bison herds crisscrossing the plains. In hot, arid regions, when summer came, hunters foraged in higher elevations for food. In winter, they camped in the warmer lowlands. From sites littered with animal bones, archaeologists have excavated some Paleo-American tools, including a variety of long spear points. These spear points, characterized by differing details in their length and shape, are classified into several major groups. 3 of these are Clovis, Folsom, and Plano, or Plainview, named after the places where each was originally found, near Clovis and Folsom in present-day New Mexico, and near Plainview, Texas. The names also apply to the different Paleo-American culture groups. Tools differed among the major Paleo-American groups, allowing archaeologists to determine that the Clovis people made this spear point